The vast wilderness continent, northern wilderness mountains, stretching hundreds of thousands of miles. The mountain range lay like a slumbering primeval behemoth, its peaks and ridges looming faintly through clouds and mist. 10,000 clusters of mountains each clung to their unique terrain, some piercing straight into the sky, others crouching like tigers. Even the wind that swept through the treetops carried a wild, untamed edge. Here, the spiritual energy was so dense it could condense into mist droplets. Yet it mingled with the stench of monster beasts. Human footprints had become nothing but a legend over a century ago. In the old forest at the foot of Great Green Mountain, century-old ancient trees tangled their branches and leaves, leaving only dappled light to filter down to the ground. Beneath the thickest of these trees hid a cave barely large enough for a child to squeeze through. The corner of the cave floor, pressed against the rock wall, was warm and slightly damp. 3 snake eggs, each the size of a fist, lay side by side. Fine soil clung to their shells, like a layer of natural camouflage. Suddenly, a soft crack sounded from the middle egg. A thin fissure snaked across its shell. Immediately after, a smooth, bald little head pushed its way out of the crack. Unlike a typical snake's pointed head, this one was rather round. It first brushed off the soil on the shell, then slowly lifted itself. A pair of black bean-like eyes squinted into slits, adjusting to the dimness of the cave bottom. Next, 2 tiny nostrils appeared. Then below them, 2 sharp fangs the size of rice grains timidly peeked out. Hiss! A soft, fluffy sound drifted through the cave. Su Qingshan was stunned. No way, before I died from overwork. I was just buying a pancake downstairs from the company. How did I open my eyes and end up here? What was this waking up from the brink of death, only to find himself turned into a little snake? He tried to move. No hands, no feet, only the tip of his tail swishing behind him. When it brushed against the eggshell, it tingled slightly. Subconsciously, he stuck out his tongue. The fleshy, forked snake's tongue snapped out with a swish, still dotted with specks of dirt. I'd become a baby snake. Su Qingshan stared at his tongue in a daze. If I had to time travel, at least give me a human form. Even a beggar would be better than this hot pot chopstick body. But on second thought, he felt amused. Not being human might not be that bad after all. Once he democked himself for having a draft animal physique. His salary barely increased. Overtime never stopped. He was 30 with no partner or savings, and living felt like being a mule grinding grain. He wanted to slack off but feared being outcompeted. He desperately pushed himself to work harder, only to spend most of his time just getting by. In the end, he de-worked himself to death.